following is a presentation of Spring Hill Sports Live. It's time for Spring Hill High School Athletics. On your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by It's time for the Broncos, right here on your home for Spring Hill High School Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Good evening from Spring Hill High School, where tonight we crown a sub-state champion and punch a ticket to the 5A State Girls Basketball Tournament. Caden Carbajo and Bryce Kessler with you here at Spring Hill High School. Tonight, the Leavenworth Pioneers in town for this sub-state championship game. The Pioneers, the number 11 seed on the east side of the 5A state bracket. And their opponent tonight, the number 3 seed, the Spring Hill Broncos, who are 15-6 and looking to end a 19-year drought at the state tournament. 2003, the last time that the Broncos made the state tournament. They won it all that year in Class 4A. Now looking to make it back into that state tournament and come away with another state championship perhaps, as they are the 3 seed on the east side. And after winning their opening round game handedly over Highland Park 63-31, they now set their sights on the Leavenworth Pioneers, who are hoping to make their first state tournament appearance since 2017. They were the 3 seed that year. They finished 3rd, losing in the semifinals to eventual state champ St. Thomas Aquinas. That was part of a stretch of 4 straight state bids from 2014 through 2017, including back-to-back state titles in 2014 and 2015 for this Leavenworth program. So their state history a little bit more recent than the Broncos, but tonight the favorite is the Broncos, of course, as the 3 seed, the Pioneers the 11 seed, and it is the second time these two teams have played this year. They played back in December, on December 21st here in Spring Hill, with the Broncos winning on that night 53-26, but that was quite some time ago. That was game number 5 of the year. Here we now play game number 22 of the season, and this one with a lot more on the line than that first matchup, as the winner will pack their bags for Emporia and play in the 5A state basketball tournament starting this coming Wednesday. It's Spring Hill and Leavenworth coming up here in the sub-state championship as the Broncos take the floor. We'll take a timeout on this Comfort Designs pregame show, and when we come back here on the pregame show, we'll take a look at the sub-state championship games happening tonight across the area. Keys to the game for a Bronco victory as they try to punch their ticket back to the state tournament for the first time since '03. The starting lineups and more as we get you set for tip-off. It's all coming up here on the Comfort Designs pregame show, brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. More of the Comfort Designs pregame show right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's Heating and Air Conditioning Company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
Contact Farm Bureau Financial Agent Michael Grand anytime or learn more at michaelgrand.com.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs pregame show. Getting you set for Sub-State Championship basketball tonight as the Spring Hill Broncos host the Leavenworth Pioneers in this 5A Sub-State title game with a bid to the 5A State basketball tournament on the line tonight. Let's take a look at our area matchups brought to you by Apex Massage Therapy. Massage isn't just a luxury, it's a way to a happier, healthier life. Kindly get Apex Massage Therapy. Knows your aches and pains may be the same as others, but your treatment doesn't have to be. Schedule your appointment by calling 913-575-1079. That's 913-575-1079 for Apex Massage Therapy. The top 4 seeds advanced on both the east and west side of the 5A state playoffs on Wednesday night. The other matchups tonight to decide the state tournament bids on the east. Number 1, St. Thomas Aquinas hosting number 8, St. James Academy. Number 2, Lansing hosts number 10, Mill Valley. And number 4, Basler Linwood hosts number 5, DeSoto. And of course tonight we have number 3, Spring Hill, and number 11 Leavenworth here in Spring Hill. So that's the east side. On the west side, top seed and undefeated Salina Central hosts the 8 seed Hayes High. Number 2, Bishop Carroll hosts number 7 Andover. Number 3, Emporia hosts number 11 Cape and Mount Carmel. And number 4, Topeka Seaman hosting number 5 Andover Central. So those are the 16 teams that remain in the state in Class 5A. 8 of them will still be playing by night's end, and those 8 will be headed to Emporia for the state tournament. From last night in a matchup of Frontier League teams, Eudora winning their 21st consecutive game to punch their ticket to the state Class 4A tournament with a 54-38 win over Paola. And another Frontier League battle will decide a state berth tonight in 4A on the boys' side as Paola hosts Tonganoxie. Eudora also at home tonight in the 4A sub-state title on the boys' side, taking on Labette County. So we'll see if the Frontier League is represented. They'll for sure be represented in that Paola-Tonganoxie. One of those teams will obviously win. They play each other. So Frontier League will get at least one team in on the boys' side and perhaps 2. And on the girls' side, they've got 1 in with Eudora, and they're hoping it's 2 by night's end, as Spring Hill will also be hoping to not join them per se, because they'll be Eudora in the 4A and Spring Hill in the 5A, but join them in, relatively speaking, in state tournament action this coming week. More of the Comfort Designs pregame show as we take a look at some keys to a victory tonight for the Spring Hill Broncos, as they are the number 3 seed, taking on the 11 seed Leavenworth on their home floor tonight as the Broncos look to make it back to the state tournament for the first time since they won it all back in 2003. That's coming up next on the Comfort Designs pregame show as we get you set for Broncos and Pioneers in a sub-state championship.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com. Cardinal Glass in Spring Hill is now hiring. Cardinal Glass is a great place to land with immediate openings for production technician starting at $19.01 with a $1 premium for evening hours. Also hiring warehouse and maintenance technicians. Cardinal Glass provides competitive wages and great benefits, including medical, dental, life, health savings, and monthly profit sharing. Call 913-592-6100. Walk-ins are welcome at their facility on North Webster Road in Spring Hill or visit them online at cardinalcorp.com.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Welcome you back inside Spring Hill High School. We are in the Comfort Designs pregame show here tonight as we get you set for Spring Hill and Leavenworth. Coming up in this 5A Sub-State Championship game, that means it's time to take a look at our keys to the game. Brought to you by Spring Hill Chiropractic and Acupuncture. The key to a better quality of life is making Spring Hill Chiropractic part of your health and wellness plan. Dr. Daniel Harding strives to make it as easy and affordable as possible to get the care you need for the whole family. Learn more at springhillchiropractor.com or call 913-592-3541. First and foremost, Broncos just continue to share the ball like they did on Wednesday night. A season-high 20 assists in their 63-31 win over Highland Park. It was a season-high 63 points, a season-high 11 made three-pointers in that game, and a lot of that buoyed by the fact that they were passing up good shots to get great shots. They shared the ball very well on Wednesday night, and they can continue to do that. Pass up the good shot to get the great shot tonight. I see more offensive success in the books tonight for Spring Hill. With that being said, don't fall in love with the three. The three-pointer was falling with ease on Wednesday night. They made 41% of their shots from beyond the arc while making 11 three-pointers. But don't fall in love with that again here tonight against Leavenworth. They can get inside and score, get some easy buckets, work the ball inside out. If they play inside out, get those threes that come on the kick out from the post, back out to the perimeter, offensive rebound, kick it out, reset it for a three. Those are the good threes. Those are the ones we want them taking, but don't just dribble down, fire up a three. They didn't do that, but after a night when you make 11 of them, sometimes you get the feeling like, hey, we can just keep chucking them from wherever they're going to fall. It might not be the case tonight, so don't fall in love with that three, but knock it down when it's open and then continue to close strong. They had a great fourth quarter against Highland Park. In that game, they dominated the second half to win by 22 in a game that was pretty close through 2.5 quarters. It was a 5-point game midway through the third quarter, but from that point on, it was all Spring Hill. They blew the doors off of them in the fourth quarter and in that second part of the third quarter. So they did the same thing against Leavenworth the first time they played the Pioneers. In that game, Spring Hill led by 6 at halftime, 20-14. Then outscored Leavenworth 33-12 in the second half, including a 20-5 advantage in the fourth quarter. So if they can once again close strong like that, sure, you'd love to get that good start, but if they can continue to close games like that, they should put themselves in a pretty good position tonight to make it back to the state tournament where they haven't been since 2003. They won it all that year. Perhaps that's their destiny again this year. Your keys to the game brought to you by Spring Hill Chiropractic and Acupuncture. Comfort Design's pregame show continues right after this. Spring Hill and Leavenworth coming up in a sub-state title here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Watch this. Call your dad from that phone.
So you pay for a phone line just to laugh at kids?
No, my internet company makes me pay for the phone. Might as well get something out of it.
That internet?
No bundling required. Visit gobrawley.com to learn more.
Pinky Plumbing in Spring Hill is a proud supporter of Bronco Athletics. Keeping your plumbing system in good shape can do wonders for your property's value and lifespan. Get exceptional plumbing services when you hire the plumbing specialist at Pinky Plumbing. At Pinky Plumbing, they take pride in their work and guarantee the best plumbing services in the shortest time possible at the most reasonable price. To learn more, give them a call at 913-568-8201 or visit pinkyplumbing.com. Go Broncos!
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Paola Veterinary Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown vets who know and care about your family. Coming soon, a new location here in Paola in the industrial park with cattle haul-in and boarding and grooming. With 24-hour emergency services and 3 other locations in Lewisburg, Drexel, and Martin City, and a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back once again here to the Comfort Designs pregame show as we get you set for this sub-state championship game between the Leavenworth Pioneers and the Spring Hill Broncos. They are going to play the national anthem here in just moments, so we will step aside when they do that. And when we come back following that, we'll have your starting lineups tonight, and the opening tip will follow as we get this 5A sub-state championship game underway between the number 3 seed, 15-6 Spring Hill, and the number 11 seed, 8-13 Leavenworth High School, here from Spring Hill tonight on Spring Hill Sports Live. You've been watching the Comfort Designs pregame show. Your starting lineups and the opening tip is coming up next on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
When it comes to helping people with their finances, a cookie-cutter approach doesn't work. That's why you need Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial in Spring Hill. Kim knows that everyone's different. She'll listen to you and discuss your hopes and dreams, allowing you to focus on what's important. At Kim Thompson Financial, they focus on protecting your family, saving for retirement, living in retirement, financial strategy, saving for education, and your small business. To learn more, visit Kim Thompson Prudential Financial at the corner of Victory and Webster in Spring Hill, or call 913-592-5573.
It is time for your starting lineups tonight. They're brought to you by America's Heartland Collection. From antiques to live plants, you never know what you're going to find and add to your personal collection at America's Heartland Collection.
For Springhill, number 1, for Leavenworth, number 4, Kaylee McLean. For Springhill, number 14, Coral Allen. For Leavenworth, number 11, Deanna James. For Springhill, number 20, Dal Miller. For Leavenworth, number 15, Brandy Gardner. For Springhill, number 21, Brooklyn Powell. For Leavenworth, number 34, Mariah White. And for Springhill, number 35, Haley O.
There we go, your starting lineups tonight here in Spring Hill for this sub-state championship game. Again, those starting lineups brought to you by America's Heartland Collection. Let them spark your curiosity at America's Heartland Collection, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5 at 305 South Webster. Along with Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler. We're glad you're with us here on this Saturday night, where a state tournament bid is on the line. Number 3, Spring Hill. Number 11, Leavenworth. These two teams played back on December 21st. Spring Hill won 53-26 in that matchup. The rematch with a lot more on the line. The opening tip now brought to you by Seats Incorporated. Tip off your new career with Seats Incorporated in Spring Hill. Seats is a leader in the manufacturing of quality seating and accessories for vehicles with competitive wages and competitive benefits. See all their openings or apply online at seatsinc.com. Leavenworth with the game's opening possession tonight. They were very much in the ball game with Spring Hill the first go around through a half, but then Spring Hill dominated the second half and are out to a 53-26 victory, and an early foul on the Broncos as Kate Milroy is called for the blocking foul, her first, team's first, just 16 seconds into the opening quarter. Spring Hill in this championship game by virtue of a 63-31 win over Highland Park on Wednesday night. The 32-point margin of victory, the largest of the year for the Broncos. Picked a good time to put together one of their best performances of the season. A season-high 62 points in that game for Spring Hill as the runner is off the left iron, missing from Kiana James. And Spring Hill has it coming the other way. So a long 30-second opening possession. First trip down for the Broncos is a Callan 3 of the left wing that hits off back iron. Kiana James brings it back up for Leavenworth. The Pioneers in their opening round game taking on the number 6 seed KC Sumner on the road. Jumped out to a 17-5 lead after the first quarter. Long two-pointer on the way here, but strong. Battle for the rebound. Down to the floor, Milroy scoops up the miss from Jeriah Wright. And after jumping out of that big lead, they scored just 3 points in the second quarter, Leavenworth did. Led by 5 at the half. They opened the lead back up to 11 early on in the fourth quarter and would go on to win by that 11-point margin. Tie up in the paint, getting it out is Milroy around to Weber, who had a huge game Wednesday night. She's had a huge season all year for the Broncos. Oaks wide open from 15, missed shot, but an offensive board by Weber, and Jenna's fouled on a putback try, so a couple of free throws coming up for the do-it-all junior Jenna Weber. Averages 15.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, and just under 1 block per game. The foul on Brandy Gardner of Leavenworth. And how about the opening game of the postseason for Weber as Jenna knocks down the first free throw. Jenna in that sub-state first round win over Highland Park, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, knocked down 4 threes. She was spectacular in the victory for Spring Hill, and she knocks down a pair of free throws as the Broncos take the early lead with 6.5 to go in the opening quarter. It's 2-0 Spring Hill here on their home floor. Looking to get back to the state tournament for the first time since 2003. They won it all that year. Clay Freegon was an assistant coach for the Broncos on that state championship team. Now the head coach of this Broncos squad. Here's Milroy, able to step in there and take away the basketball. The other way goes Kate and lays it in on the left side to put Spring Hill on top 4-0, and a quick timeout taken by Leavenworth. Less than 2 minutes into the opening quarter. The Pioneers take a timeout. Ryan Foster wants to correct something early and not give Spring Hill a chance to run out to an early lead. They have already done it to the tune of 4-0. So Milroy with 2 and Weber with 2. That duo both very good in the first round win. They both were in double figures, part of a big offensive night for the Broncos. Callan, Powell, and Oakes, the other 3 of the 5 on the floor for Spring Hill. Leavenworth, you heard their starters, Aviana Garrett, Kaylee McLean, Kiana James, Brandy Gardner, and Jariah Wright. They did not have either Wright or Moniece Thomas on Wednesday night in their victory over Casey Sumner. Wright obviously back. She's on the floor starting in this game. Moniece Thomas, typically a starter for them, did not start this game, so we'll see. We're not sure whether she is going to be able to play in this game. Ryan Foster, after the win against Sumner, was hopeful that he'd have both back. He has Wright back, obviously. Not sure on Thomas yet. There's Gardner on the take that time, and she is fouled as Powell and Oakes converged on the defense there for Spring Hill, and it looks like they get Brooke Powell for that foul. It's her first and the team's second. Brandy Gardner will head to the free throw line, had 6 points in the loss against Spring Hill back in December. Knocks down the first of 2 foul shots, so it puts Leavenworth on the board with their first point here at the 5:52 mark of this opening period. And Gardner hits them both. (4-2) the score. Spring Hill with the ball. Milroy sends it right wing to Oakes. Kaylee with a nice look inside to Powell. She's doubled, kicks it out to Callan in the corner, and the three's off the mark. Good look, though. Those are the types of threes we want to see Spring Hill taking when they work inside out. Got a great look there from Callan. She's now 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. She was part of the three-point barrage they put on Highland Park. Knocked down 2 of the 11 threes that the Broncos made on Wednesday night. A season-high shooting performance from beyond the arc. Nice dish inside James. Sent it across the paint to Wright. Sets up Jariah Wright now at the free throw line as she got fouled at the feed by James. The personal foul is charged to Spring Hill's Coral Callan, her first and the team's third. And at the line is Jariah Wright. Spring Hill makes a change to their lineup. First time tonight, Sydney Busher checks in along with Elena Friga. Powell and Callan check out of the lineup. Busher's had a really good freshman year, 8 points, 6.5 rebounds per game on the season as Weber rebounds the missed free throw by Wright, and looking inside for Oakes. That ball a little bit too far out in front of Kaylee, and a Bronco turnover with 5:12 to play in the quarter. Finishing the thought on Busher, she was held in check in the opener against the postseason opener against Highland Park. Just 3 points, 4 rebounds, but she has been a huge addition to the team this year. Only a freshman, but a very bright future for her. Here comes the drive by James. Missed the runner, and it's Weber that tracks down the rebound. So right away in this game as well, you're seeing all the ways that Weber can impact a game. Goes into the freshman Busher, bounces it right back to Weber, but it rims out. Jenna staying with it with an offensive rebound. May have got hit in the face. A foul is called on Leavenworth, but let's hope that Jenna Weber's able to shake that one off. Official coming over there to talk to her, and Jenna nods her head as if to say she's okay. And the foul is called on Kiana James, her first and the team's second. So here's Weber at the free throw line, a tremendous free throw shooter, 85% on the year, and we're not talking about a small sample size either. 92 out of 108 of the line in the regular season. She's now 3 for 3 at the line in this one, and make it 4 out of 4. Had a game earlier this year down in the Wellsville tournament, went 16 of 16 at the free throw line in one game. It's 6-3 Broncos, and Gardner has it partially blocked, it looked like. Weber comes up with it, already 4 boards to go along with 4 points. Milroy, nice feed on a bounce into Kaylee Oakes, who scores it for the left block. 8-3 Broncos. James into the corner. Gardner, tough catch. Wants to go baseline. Help defense comes over by Oaks to cut that off. Gardner drive and kick into the corner to Garrett. Able to penetrate into the lane, but missed the layup. And it's Kaylee Oaks that clears it for Spring Hill. Quickly up the floor to Freegon. Bounce underneath the Busher. Quickly goes up with it around the cylinder and out. Garrett the rebound for Leavenworth. 8-3, the Broncos with the early lead here in this first quarter. 3:40 to play in the period. Looking for their fourth straight win. It'll be their third four-game winning streak, or their third four-game winning streak of the year. This would be the most meaningful of them as it would put them in the state tournament. Travel called on James. Spring Hill Sports Live presented by Strode Orthodontics, specializing in beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff at Strode Orthodontics are experienced, highly trained, and fully licensed orthodontic specialists with decades of providing experience in the orthodontic field. Locations in Spring Hill, Olathe, and Overland Park. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. A confident move to the basket there by Busher. Freshman will head to the free throw line as Leavenworth is called for their third team foul of this first quarter. Now both teams have been tagged 3 times. It's on Garrett, and Busher is at the line. Only 29% this year at the foul line. And the first of 2 shots is short. So for a season where Busher has averaged 8 points per game in her freshman year, she's left a lot of potential points there at the free throw line. Certainly a spot in her game that if she's able to get that number up there in the 70% or better, then you're looking at a 16, 17 point per game potential score right there for the Broncos. Busher hits 1 of 2, and it's 9-3 Spring Hill with 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. Good start here for Spring Hill tonight. They've been closing games so well as of late. They did it on Wednesday night against Highland Park. A 20-5 advantage in the fourth quarter, the first time when they played Leavenworth. To close out that victory, another foul on Spring Hill. This is called on Elena Freegon. So 7 fouls have been called already in this game. The good news, if you're either side, is nobody's been called for more than 1. It's just 1 foul on 7 different girls as Tessa Dawson and Lorelei Harris check into the lineup for Spring Hill. Oaks will check out along with Freegon. Kylie West has come on, as well as Moniece Thomas for Leavenworth. And that's Thomas out of the corner, knocking down the 3 on the assist by Kaylee McLean. So Leavenworth certainly glad to have Moniece Thomas back in the lineup. Did not have her on Wednesday night. They didn't have Jariah Wright either, but still pulled off the road win at KC Sumner. It's a 9-6 ball game here with 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Winner moves on to play in the 5A state tournament in Emporia starting on Wednesday. Weber with an assist down to Sydney Busher. 11-6 Spring Hill. Busher does not hesitate. You love to see that out of the post. You don't want to see him put that ball on the floor, get a chance to have it knocked away. She is very decisive when she catches the ball on the post. It is quick, fluid motion. Go up and score. Thomas to McLean. Couple of steps beyond the arc, drills a 3. With a great equalizer, that 3-point shot. A couple of them have been knocked down now by Leavenworth. And the Pioneers are within 2 with a little more than 90 seconds to play in the quarter. Busher holding up top of the key. Around they go to Weber. Inside to Harris. From the block, off the glass, won't fall, but Busher there for the offensive board, has it deflected out off of Thomas. In for Spring Hill, Coral Callan returning, and Addison Bond, another freshman, checking in for Spring Hill. Weber to inbound, lobs it into the high elbow to Busher. Now Callan into the corner to Bond. Up top for Weber. 1:15 to go in the quarter. Spring Hill leading by 2. They've led throughout this opening period. Bond with the drive, the floater off the right side, and pulled down by Kylie West for Leavenworth. 1 minute left to play in the first quarter. Drive by James. Can't hit the floater. Bond the rebound. James hasn't been able to finish any of those yet, but she's done a good job getting inside, giving herself decent looks, but Spring Hill has kept her off the board. It stays a 2-point lead for the Broncos with 40 seconds left to play in the quarter. Harris shows herself down low to get the pass from Busher, but it's blocked. James up to Gardner, rejected out of bounds by Jenna Weber. Got a couple of blocks on Wednesday night as well, and chases down Gardner for the block shot. Leavenworth will take their second timeout of the first quarter. So with 34 seconds to play in the period, Leavenworth will have a chance on a baseline inbound. Ryan Foster wants to draw something up to try and tie this ball game up. It hasn't been tied yet. 4-0 start for Spring Hill. Leavenworth closed it back to a 1-point gap, and now it was pushed back up to 6. Now it's back down to 2. Leavenworth this season started 2-7 before they got on a roll, went 5-2 to get their record back to 500 at 7-7. And then they finished the regular season, though, going 0-4 before opening up their postseason with that 11-point win at Sumner. 8-13 overall. Spring Hill 15-6 overall. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Spring Hill with a 2-point lead. McLean with a kick out to Gardner. 3-pointer rims off and pulled down by Kaylee Oakes. 20 seconds left in the period for Spring Hill. Up top to Bond. Trying to work down that right lane line. Leaves it up for Oakes. Back out to Callan. Shot fake. Drive with the right hand off the front side of the rim. McLean the rebound with 4 seconds left at half court. Up to Gardner with 2. Got it off in time, but it's short. And we've reached the end of one. 11-9. Spring Hill leads Leavenworth through one quarter here in the Sub-State Championship on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
We start the second quarter in Spring Hill tonight, the 5A Sub-State Championship between Spring Hill and Leavenworth. And a good one so far, a 2-point Spring Hill lead as the Broncos have it to start the period. Weber trying to go across the floor to Powell, had it deflected and turned over. Stolen by Wright. McLean brings it up for the Pioneers. Now to Thomas at the right point. Gives it into the corner to Gardner. Spring Hill with Callan, Weber, and Milroy up at the top of this zone, and Powell and Oakes down at the bottom. McLean, Thomas, Gardner, and Garrett around the outside, with Gardner now at the high post and Jariah Wright down on the low block for Leavenworth. Taken out of the hands of Garrett, but unable to control it. Oakes lost it out of bounds. It stays with Leavenworth. 7:20 to play in the second quarter. 11-9 Spring Hill. They led by as many as 6 in the first quarter. Never did trail in that period. Trying to defeat Leavenworth for the second time this year. Winning back on December 21st here on this same floor. Deflection by Milroy and a foul committed by Garrett after the steal by Kate. Second foul on Garrett, and that is team foul number 4 on Leavenworth as Kiana James checks back in. James was the leading scorer back in December against Spring Hill with 9. She was also Leavenworth's leading scorer on Wednesday night in their win over Casey Sumner with 12 points, but she is scoreless to this point in this Sub-State Championship. Callan Passes up this three-point chance. Won't pass it up a second time, and it was a good decision not to as Carl Callan drains a three. Missed her first two, but she comes up with a three-pointer there to make it a 5-point lead. From way downtown, McLean leaves that one short, out of bounds to Spring Hill. 14-9 Broncos. 6:45 left to play, second period here on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics. Both these teams hope to keep their season alive and play Wednesday at White Auditorium in Emporia. Oaks works down the left lane line and draws the foul. That's the 15th foul now on Leavenworth. And this one will earn Kaylee Oaks a couple of free throws. It's called on Wright. Her first. 2 free throws for Kaylee Oaks, 2 points. 3 rebounds already in this sub-state championship. Free throw left short. 19-year drought between state tournament appearances. If the Broncos are able to pull off the win, as Oaks misses both of them and Wright pulls down the rebound. If they win this, Spring Hill, and in that now 19-year drought, that would be, barring a Hayes High upset of Salina Central. I'm not sure the last time Hayes High made the state tournament. It's been quite a while, and I think longer than Spring Hill. They're the only one, though, that is not in the only of the 16 teams remaining in the 5A state playoffs. They would be the only one who has had a longer drought of state tournament appearances. So Broncos would love to erase that and change that to a 2022 appearance at state, and hopefully more than just an appearance. But first things first, they have to take care of business in this sub-state championship game. Right now leading by 5. Very patient attack here for Leavenworth against this zone defense of Spring Hill. Can't blame Leavenworth. They're clearly the underdog after losing by 27 here in Spring Hill back in December. An 8-13 team taking on the number 3 overall seed in the East, the Spring Hill Broncos, and the patience pays off as Garrett eventually able to find Jariah Wright at the high post, and she works inside for the lay-in. Weber's 3 misses, but the follow shot is right there for Kaylee Oaks. 16-11 Broncos. Leavenworth would love this to be a low-scoring game, so that's why you're going to see the patience. Spring Hill, if they play with the lead like they have right now, then they're going to be perfectly fine with Leavenworth. Patient attack. Here's James at the top of the key, the top scorer last time they played, and again able to get in the paint and get one up off the glass, but can't score it. She's still scoreless as Garrett commits her 3rd foul, trying to intercept the pass intended for Jenna Weber. 3 on Garrett. She's likely headed to the bench as Brandy Gardner hops up and checks in for Leavenworth and does replace Garrett. Busher and Freegon replace Powell and Callan in the Spring Hill lineup. 4:49 to play in the half. Spring Hill leading by 5. Weber inside to Oaks. Back out to Weber, who fires the 3 and hits the 3. Made 4 3-pointers on Wednesday night. Part of her 24 points did Jenna Weber. And that's her first tray of this one. It's the Broncos' second 3. And they lead by 8, largest lead of the ball game for Spring Hill with 4:20 left to go in the second. Wright working around that painted, or non-painted area, but the traditional painted area, trying to get that ball inside. They can't do it though, as Milroy comes away with a steal. Finds Freegon on the short corner backside. Up top it comes to Weber. Oaks fires inside to Busher. Missed it strong, rebounded by Wright. Leavenworth back the other way, down 8 with under 4 to go in the half. Trailed by 6 only at the half in their first matchup with Spring Hill before losing by 27 in what turned out to be a dominating second half by Spring Hill. Weber with the steal, finds Milroy. Kay kind of slow played the defender, then accelerates in, but missed it. Rebounded by Gardner. Lob up to James, stripped away by Oaks. Down onto the floor goes Leavenworth, Jariah Wright, and she is ruled out of bounds on the baseline. Turns it over, back to Spring Hill. Lorelei Harris checks in for Spring Hill. Monique Thomas, who checked that, Kylie West, returning for Leavenworth, along with Micaiah Barker, who comes in for the first time. 3:22 left to go in the first half. An 8-point Bronco lead. Stepping out to get the steal, West. And now Gardner finishes for Leavenworth as they take advantage of a Bronco turnover. Only the third turnover of the half for Spring Hill, but it cost them 2 points. 6-point lead for Spring Hill. Under 3 to play in the half. Milroy keeping the dribble alive. Now bounce into the short corner to Busher. Bounces right into the middle of the paint for Harris. Busher saving it out to Fregon, but sailed it over her head out of bounds to Leavenworth. .246 to play in the first half. Kaylee McLean brings it up the floor for Leavenworth, one of 2 players in double figures in the win over Sumner on Wednesday night. West to Barker and around to Gardner. Another deflection up top by Weber, forces the turnover. Milroy leaves it up floor for Weber, who is fouled by Barker, and a couple of free throws coming up for Jenna Weber. So that is the 7th turnover now for Leavenworth. Spring Hill trying to capitalize with some points now at the free throw line. Weber is 4 out of 4 at the charity stripe tonight. And her first miss at the free throw line. Powell and Oaks back in for Spring Hill. Coral Callan had come to the scorer's table as well, but officials, after whistling for her, says she's coming in for the shooter. Now she will check in as Weber makes the second. Well, 8 of the 20 first half points for Spring Hill have come from Jenna Weber. She'll take a quick breather here with 2:20 left to play in the first half. Spring Hill leading 20-13. And Glenn for all 14 minutes of this game so far. McLean into the corner to Gardner. Can't get through that zone defense of Spring Hill. West tries the baseline. Fires it back out to Gardner, misses the long 2, and it's out of bounds off of Leavenworth. Spring Hill takes over with 1:55 left to play in the first half. Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show is coming up here in just moments. Take a look back at the first half for you and run down all the numbers of this sub-state championship game. Winner heads to Emporia to play Wednesday at White Auditorium in the first round of the 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament. Oaks, quick ball movement to Callan in the corner. Missed the 3 off the heel. Offensive board by Milroy. Ooh, they're going to call her for a travel. That was close. Milroy was kind of on the back of her teammate Oaks when she came down with it. Forced her to take an extra little hop, it looked like maybe, and that's where the official saw as well. So good effort there on the offensive glass by Milroy, but a travel nonetheless, and it's back over to Leavenworth with under 90 seconds to play in the half. Lob underneath to Wright, may have got it too deep, and then gets tied up. Jump ball is called. It will stay with Leavenworth. Kiana James back in for Barker for Leavenworth. Still without a point in this game for Kiana James, their senior point guard, who has been their leading scorer against Spring Hill earlier this year, also against Sumner on Wednesday night. West lost to try to make the pass out to McLean. It ends up to the intended target, McLean, anyway, but now they give it away as Busher comes up with a steal. Callan decides to fire the 3 up after the defenders all vacated. 3-pointers missed. Kylie West the rebound. Under a minute to play in the half. It was a 6-point game at the half the first time these 2 teams played. It was a 20-14 game then. A very similar looking scoreboard here tonight. West Double on the block and ripped right out of her hands. Taken away by Kaylee Oakes. 7th turnover of the quarter, 9th of the half, and a timeout Spring Hill with 38 seconds left to play in this first half. A 30-second timeout taken by Clay Freegon, the head coach of the Broncos, who was an assistant coach for Spring Hill. The last time Spring Hill made the state tournament back in 2003 when they won it all, claiming the 4A state title that year. They were at the tournament the year prior in 02 as well. Alicia Von Stein, one of the assistant coaches for Spring Hill, was an assistant on that staff as well. The freshman coach that year back in 03. Now the lead assistant for Clay Freegon, and they are hoping to take their Broncos back to the state tournament, this time in Class 5A. And if you're going to go, you might as well just win it all again. A 7-point lead right here in the second quarter with 38 seconds to play in the half. Spring Hill with the ball. Their largest lead of this half has been 8. So a chance to up that mark with a bucket here in the final seconds of the quarter. Spring Hill looks content to hold out this final, now 23 seconds, and take the half's final shot. Gardner extending some pressure out on Milroy. An experienced guard, Kate Milroy, has been playing up at the varsity level for a long time and does not get flustered with that pressure by Gardner. Down to 6 seconds, and Weber fires up a 3 off front iron. Powell with an aggressive attempt at an offensive board, but Wright was able to gather it for Leavenworth, and that ends the first half. So it's a 20-13 Bronco lead at the break. They lead the Leavenworth Pioneers by 7 in this sub-state championship game on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics. It's the halftime show coming up, brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services agent Michael Grant in Spring Hill. That's next here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
Contact Farm Bureau Financial Agent Michael Grand anytime or learn more at michaelgrand.com.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is the area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you place that faulty trimmer or mower, bring it to Hers and let their experts get you back to work. Hers also takes care of hydraulic hoses, cylinder reseal, and mechanical control cables, such as push-pull, brake, throttle, and more. Plus, they carry quality equipment like Bobcat mowers, Steiner tractors, grass trimmers, and more. Hers is even a UPS drop-off station. To learn more,
Come and visit us at hersinc.net. Call Hers at
913-247-3530.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Veterinary Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown vets who know and care about your family. Coming soon, a new location here in Paola in the industrial park with cattle haul-in and boarding and grooming. With 24-hour emergency services and 3 other locations in Lewisburg, Drexel, and Martin City, and a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Halftime here in Spring Hill tonight. It is 20-13. The Spring Hill Broncos leading the Leavenworth Pioneers as we welcome you to the Michael Grand Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Michael's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected and protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. To learn more, visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2336. We are at the break in this sub-state championship game. A 7-point Spring Hill lead, a very similar score to when these two teams met back in December. On December 21st, it was 20-14 at the half. In that one, Spring Hill held a 6-point lead, would go on to win that game, though, 53-26 as they blew them out of the second half with a huge 20-5 advantage in the fourth quarter. So we'll see if a similar fate awaits tonight. Here's how we got to this halftime score. Spring Hill jumped out with the first 4 points to take a 4-0 lead before Leavenworth closed it back to 1 at 4-3 midway through the first quarter. Spring Hill then with a 5-0 run to push their lead up to 6, their largest lead of the first quarter. Leavenworth would trim it back down to 2 by quarter's end. It was 11-9 after 1. Spring Hill then would extend their lead to the largest margin it was in the first half midway through the second quarter at 19-11 on a 3-pointer by Jenna Weber. Leavenworth would score just one more basket after that to make it 19-13 before a free throw by Weber added the final point of the first half at the 2:25 mark. Nobody scored over the final 2.5 minutes of that half, and Spring Hill leads at 20-13 at the break. No ties, no lead changes through the first 16 minutes. The 15-6 Broncos with a 7-point lead over the 8-13 Leavenworth Pioneers. That was your Eye on the Game, brought to you by White Cell Optometry Vision Source. Keep an eye on your child's screen time. If they're experiencing eye strain or headaches, it might be a good time for an exam. Make an appointment with White Cell Optometry and Vision Source by calling 913-592-2020 and be sure to ask about the 2020 rule. Let's run down the first half numbers for you when we come back right after this on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show.
White Cell Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. White Cell Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Whitesell and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call White Cell Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020. Pinky Plumbing in Spring Hill is a proud supporter of Bronco Athletics. Keeping your plumbing system in good shape can do wonders for your property's value and lifespan. Get exceptional plumbing services when you hire the plumbing specialist at Pinky Plumbing. At Pinky Plumbing, they take pride in their work and guarantee the best plumbing services in the shortest time possible at the most reasonable price. To learn more, give them a call at 913-568-8201 or visit pinkyplumbing.com. Go Broncos!
Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Seven-point halftime lead for the Spring Hill girls as they are on top of Leavenworth 20-13 at the break of the Michael Grand Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Leavenworth in the first half led by Brandy Gardner's 4 points. They had 4 different scores. Gardner with 4, and then Kaylee McLean, Moniece Thomas, and Jariah Wright all with 3 points. 0 from Kiana James, who led them in scoring in their postseason opening victory over KC Sumner. Also led the Pioneers in scoring against Spring Hill back in December, but she was shut out in that first half. Wright with 3 boards, leading the way for Leavenworth as well. And the assist leader is right now a combination of Garrett, McLean, and Thomas. Each have 1. For Spring Hill, Jenna Weber, 8 points, leading the way for the Broncos. Kate Milroy with 2, Coral Callan with 3, Sydney Bushert with 3, and Kaylee Oakes with 4. Broncos led on the glass right now by Oakes and Weber. Each have 4 rebounds, and the assist leader is also Jenna Weber, who dished out a pair of first-half assists. 20-13, Spring Hill leading by 7 here at the break. Winner moves on to the 5A state tournament this coming week in Emporia. 16 minutes to go to decide who gets that bid here in this sub-state championship. You've been watching the Michael Grand Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Second half is next from Spring Hill on Spring Hill Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon Smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit
Spring Hill by 7 as we start the second half here tonight in Spring Hill. 5A Sub-State Championship game. I'm Bryce Kessler, Caden Carbajo on the camera tonight as we will close out the final 2 quarters of pre-state tournament basketball. Winner moves on to Emporia. Loser has their season come to a close here tonight in Spring Hill. Milroy, Callan, Oakes, Powell, and Weber for the Broncos. Inside, it's Oakes now to Powell at the high post. Comes to a nice jump stop at the paint, missed it, but Oakes is there for the offensive board, and she is fouled by Kiana James. James, along with Wright, Gardner, Garrett, and McLean, the 5 on the floor for Leavenworth to start this second half. So second foul on James, first foul of the second half, charged to Leavenworth. Another offensive rebound. This time it's Weber with the offensive board. Put it down to the floor, though. Ends up getting tied up, and a jump ball will send it over to Leavenworth. 6th turnover of the game for Spring Hill. They forced 9 out of Leavenworth in the first half. James checks out of the game, and in comes Misty DeLeon. And a frustrating night for Kiana James, the senior guard for Leavenworth. No points. 7.5 to go in the third quarter. Had a dozen on Wednesday night of the win over Sumner. Scored 9 against Spring Hill back in December. Was their leading scorer in both of those games. This is a steal by Weber, coast to coast on the left side, and the layup is right there for Jenna Weber, who is into double figures with 10, capitalizing off the turnover to push the Spring Hill lead to a game-high 9 points. Garrett gives it off to Gardner. Now to DeLeon. Bounces it across to the left wing to Garrett. Back up top on the right side now to McLean. Handoff Gardner. Angling in off the glass, and a foul is called on Spring Hill. Blocking foul on that shot by Gardner. It is charged to Jenna Weber, her first. And a couple of free throws coming up for Brandy Gardner. 4 points, a couple of rebounds so far for the senior Gardner. 2 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. Spring Hill dominated the second half the first time these two teams played after a game that had just a 6-point margin at the half. Tonight it was a 7-point halftime margin. Spring Hill outscored Leavenworth 33-12 in the second half where they met back in December. Very similar to what we saw Spring Hill do to Highland Park on Wednesday night. 22-14, 6.5 to play, third quarter. Spring Hill has never trailed in this game. It's never been tied as well. Time it was tied was the opening possession of the game at zeros when Leavenworth was denied on their opening possession, and then Spring Hill went down, scored on their opening possession with a couple of free throws. And a 22-14 lead now. Gardner out on the right wing, a team high 5 for Leavenworth. DeLeon almost traveled, it looked like. Official thought she got rid of the ball in time, so they play on. McLean out of the short quarter up top to Gardner, knocked free by Powell. A race into the backcourt, Brooke Powell wins it, and then is fouled by Gardner. Good defensive play by Powell, earns her a trip to the free throw line. She did not score against Highland Park, but 3 boards, 3 assists in that game for Brooke. Averages 3.5 per night. A 56% foul shooter is at the line and missing the first. The foul on Gardner, by the way, her second. Also the team's second of this second half with 5:43 left to go, third quarter. Powell 1 of 2 at the line. And it's once again a 9-point Bronco lead. DeLeon to the corner to Garrett. Now to Gardner. Spring Hill has done a good job keeping anybody from Leavenworth of being able to get a hot hand. In fact, nobody has made more than 1 shot from the field so far for Leavenworth. DeLeon's 3 off the front iron. Long rebound comes out to the free throw line for Coral Callan. And here come the Broncos again. Weber holding it high on the right side. A little head nod to get Callan to cut into the paint. Now a skip across to Milroy. Lines up a 3 on the left wing. Left it a bit short, but an offensive rebound by Weber. Back out to Callan. She fires up a 3, and hers was a bit long, but another offensive rebound, this time Milroy. Weber calling for it on the wing. Is the third time the charm? No, that one rims out as well, and Gardner finally clears it for Leavenworth. 3 looks from beyond the arc on that possession for Spring Hill, and they were all 3 good looks, but it's an empty trip. The lead remains 9 with 4.5 to play, third quarter. Pulling up for 3, McLean off the bounce that time. Doesn't get that 3-pointer to fall, and back comes Spring Hill again. Weber splits 2 defenders and able to float it up and in with the left hand. 12 points from Jenna Weber. Leads all scorers with a little more than 4 minutes to go. The scoreboard on the one side of the floor has now gone blank, so that's why our scoreboard has gone blank, and part of it, half of the scoreboard has gone out, the other half still remains on. 25-14 with under 4 to play in the third quarter. A foul is called on the floor. It's charged to Spring Hill, their second team foul. Scoreboard's back now as that foul is pinned on Brooke Powell, her second. Elena Fregon and Sydney Busher check back in for Spring Hill. Moniz Thomas along with Kiana James return for Leavenworth. .352 to play, third quarter. 11-point Spring Hill lead. Pass up top to James, still looking for her first points. I mentioned it a little bit ago, but nobody has scored more than 1 field goal in this game for Leavenworth, and they travel on James as she commits Leavenworth's 12th turnover of the game. Milroy brings it up slowly for Spring Hill. Broncos in control by 11 with 3.5 to go, third quarter. Got to make it back to state for the first time in 19 years. Busher was not looking for that pass, fortunate to get it back. Weber from the feed by Oaks, missed a three, but she's fouled by Gardner. I think they're going to call this after the shot on the floor, and they will. So it is not a shooting foul. I think they get the call right as well, as Weber had already completed her shot, had come back down. It wasn't in the follow-through. It was on the box out following it, so it's a foul on the floor on Gardner, her third. And the third team foul of the second half on Leavenworth. Gardner steals it, but then gets called for the double dribble. Unfortunate for Brandy Gardner after the nice defensive play, but Spring Hill catches the break. Milroy will inbound with 3:16 to go, third quarter. Broncos working with their largest lead of the night so far at 25-14, and they turn it over again. This time, Leavenworth has a chance to capitalize, and Gardner does just that on the feed by McLean. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Weber all alone for three, not there. And McLean the rebound in the corner. Up to James. Angles in, kicks out Gardner. Deep two. Rims out to the backside for Freegon. Spring Hill by 9 with 2:35 to play in the third. Weber called for a travel. Fourth turnover of the quarter for Spring Hill, nearly matching their first half turnover total. They had 5 in the first half, now up to 9 for the game, but still leading by 9 with 2:31 to play in the third. James up at the top of the point. Brings it across left side. Thomas gets open as Oaks kind of got caught up in some traffic inside, but the open three does not fall for Thomas. Busher the rebound for Spring Hill. Broncos in a 2-minute scoring drought. See if somebody can end it here with just over 2 to play in the third. Milroy fires up a three. It's well short. Rebound by James. Pass up to Gardner, who is fouled by Freegon. Not a bad foul, though. Freegon going to make Gardner earn him at the line, where she is 4 for 4 in the ball game. So Leavenworth probably likes their chances, but Freegon commits the second foul on her and the third team foul. So here's Gardner, 7 points, 3 rebounds in the game. And 7 points, the leading scorer for Leavenworth tonight, and she continues to stay perfect at the free throw line. As Freegon and Oaks check out, Harris and Dawson return for Spring Hill. Kylie West checks back into the lineup for Leavenworth. Gardner now 6 of 6 at the free throw line. Has half of the points in this game for Leavenworth, 9 of their 18, and it's a 7-point game with 1:48 left to play in the third. Spring Hill has gone now 2 minutes and 20 seconds without scoring. Only have given up 4 points during that drought, though, so they haven't had a whole lot of their lead shoot off. And now that drought is over as Jenna Weber, one-footed floater, drops in. 27-18. Broncos by 9 with 1:20 to go in the third. Bounce across the paint. Thomas with a nice feed to West, but West couldn't finish it. Busher clears it for Spring Hill, and then Milroy ends up with a travel in the backcourt. She was being pestered by West, and it forces Milroy into the Bronco turnover. Garrett back in for Leavenworth with 1:14 left to play, third quarter. 7-5 advantage for Spring Hill in this third period. Leavenworth has not had a big period by any means, but they've done enough to stick around, and a timeout has been taken by Leavenworth as McLean was having a tough time getting the ball inbounded. We'll take a break with 1:14 left to play in the third. It's 27-18, Spring Hill leading Leavenworth here in the Sub-State Championship game on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health, advanced healthcare advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health, because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
.114 left to play in the third, as the Broncos lead this game 27-18. They have led throughout this ball game, have never trailed, but Leavenworth not willing to go away either. They continue to fight and stay alive in this game, and they lost by 27 to Spring Hill the last time these two teams play, back on December 21st here in Spring Hill. But they have not played intimidated in this game. They are making Spring Hill work for every bit of what the Broncos are hoping is a sub-state title. A run and jump out near midcourt works to perfection to force a turnover, but Busher's layup misses, and McLean grabs it for Leavenworth. And she has it knocked out by Dawson. It remains with Leavenworth. Tessa Dawson and Sydney Busher on that run and jump forced Thomas into the turnover. A missed opportunity, though, for Spring Hill as Clay Fregon has dialed up the pressure coming out of a timeout. Now a little three-quarters court zone press, trying to invite him into some traps. Leavenworth breaks the press. Now into the half court with 50 seconds to go in the third. James out of the corner. Good look at a three, but it's an air ball. Kate Milroy the rebound, and Kate will bring it up herself with 40 seconds to play in the third. Knocked out of bounds by West. Brooke Powell will check back in for the Broncos. Also returning is Kaylee Oakes. Spring Hill is led by as many as 11 in this third quarter. Right now the lead 9. A little more than 30 seconds to go. A dangerous pass nearly intercepted by West, but Weber was able to get it, and then with the gamble by West, had a great look at the three, but didn't hit it. So it's back to Leavenworth with 20 seconds left. Stepping into a three, Moniece Thomas off the left rim. Out of bounds, last touch by Leavenworth, so Spring Hill gets the basketball with 15 seconds to play in the third as Brandy Gardner checks back in for Leavenworth. Spring Hill going to hold out for the final shot attempt of this third quarter. We'll head into the fourth with the lead. Will it be double figures or just 9? Milroy off the side of the glass. 5 for the rebound. Thomas has it with 1 second left, and that will do it for quarter number 3. We head to the fourth with Spring Hill leading Leavenworth 27-18 here on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
Cardinal Glass in Spring Hill is now hiring. Cardinal Glass is a great place to land with immediate openings for production technician starting at $19.01 with a $1 premium for evening hours. Also hiring warehouse and maintenance technicians. Cardinal Glass provides competitive wages and great benefits, including medical, dental, life, health savings, and monthly profit sharing. Call 913-592-6100. Walk-ins are welcome at their facility on North Webster Road in Spring Hill, or visit them online at cardinalcorp.com.
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Watch this. Call your dad from that phone.
So you pay for a phone line just to laugh at kids?
No, my internet company makes me pay for the phone. Might as well get something out of it.
That internet?
No bundling required. Visit gobrawley.com to learn more.
Three quarters in the books, one more to go to decide a ticket to the 5A state tournament. Spring Hill, a 27-18 lead on Leavenworth as we start the final frame of this 5A sub-state championship. Spring Hill with a ball to start the period. Milroy, Powell, Busher, Oakes, and Weber. This is Busher in the high post. doubled, got rid of it out to Milroy. Gardner, McLean, Garrett, West, and Thomas, the 5 for Leavenworth. Milroy with the dribble, still alive, now attacks all the way through the paint, back out to Weber. Jenna on the drive, draws the foul on the floor against Leavenworth. The Pioneers' 4th team foul, and it is called on Kylie West, her first personal. 7:24 left to play in the 4th quarter. Coral Callan checks back in for Spring Hill. Spring Hill hoping to make state for the first time since '03. Leavenworth looking to get back to the state tournament for the first time since 2017, when they had a run of 4 consecutive state bids that included back-to-back state titles in 2014 and 2015. Milroy has it rim off, but an offensive board by Oakes, and a good job getting rid of it before she went to the floor to commit the turnover. A hack there is called on Leavenworth, their 5th team foul, and it is charged to Kaylee McLean, her first. Back in for Leavenworth is Jariah Wright. 7:09 now to go in the 4th quarter. This is getting to that point now where the clock can't go any slower if you're Spring Hill, and the clock just seems to be racing if you're Leavenworth, who's trying to make the comeback. Callan to Weber in the corner for 3 off the front iron from where she saw it, and rebounded by McLean. Tied up between her and Milroy, and Spring Hill, or check that, Leavenworth has the arrow, so the Pioneers with the ball. 6:54 left to play in the 4th. Game has never been tied. Leavenworth has never led. They have had the deficit down to as little as 1 back in the 1st quarter, had it down to 2 at one point later on in the 1st quarter, and since the 1st quarter, the closest it's been is 3. That was early 2nd quarter as Gardner bullies her way up for 2. That's a strong play by Gardner. Missed the first attempt, but Gardner, and you can see, I don't know if you actually maybe not couldn't see that one in the frame there as it was happening to the backcourt, but Gardner, after making that play, imploring her teammates to say, hey, let's go. This is not over yet. You love that passion from Gardner, who has had a nice night, 11 points and 4 rebounds. It's a 7-point game. As a timeout is taken, we will step aside with 6:34 to play in the 4th. Spring Hill leading Leavenworth by 7 here on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
Auction Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
.6:34 left to play in the 4th quarter. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff are experienced, highly trained, and fully licensed orthodontic specialists with decades of providing experience in the orthodontic field, specializing in beautiful, healthy smiles at Strode Orthodontics, with locations in Spring Hill, Olathe, and Overland Park. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. 6:34 is all that remains in this 4th quarter, a sub-state championship game. Some full court pressure by Leavenworth as they come out of a timeout. The Pioneers have just 1 timeout remaining in this game. Spring Hill still has 4 at their disposal, so any hint of trouble, Spring Hill should not be shy about using the turnover or the timeouts at this point to avoid potential turnovers and get themselves out of tough spots as they try to close out a victory and make their way back to the state tournament for the first time in 19 years. Milroy over to Jenna Weber, who leads all scorers tonight with 14. Now Callan from the short corner brings it out onto the perimeter for Milroy. A dangerous pass inside. That was a force trying to get it into Busher. 3 defenders there for Leavenworth, and the Pioneers force the 11th Spring Hill turnover. McLean gives it off to Gardner, and not so fast, says Powell, who steps in between and knocks it out of bounds. So Gardner has been the hot hand tonight for Leavenworth. 11 points for Gardner. Nobody else has more than 3. You'd think that Leavenworth will continue to try to get 15 the ball here in these final 5:45. That's who has it here on the right wing. Brandy Gardner, guarded by Brooke Powell. Trying to take her off the dribble, gives it out to Garrett in the corner, and then she barrels into Callan. A blocking foul is called on Coral. Second foul on Coral Callan, and it's the fourth team foul on the Broncos of this second half. Baseline inbound for Leavenworth as Kaylee Oakes checks back in for Spring Hill. Well, I'm sure if you asked Clay Fregon before the game, he would have told you he expected this one to not be anywhere as easy of a margin of victory as it was the first time when they beat Leavenworth by 27. I'm sure they were expecting a much better effort from Leavenworth this time around with a state tournament bid on the line, and they have certainly received that better effort from Leavenworth. They continue to push Spring Hill the entire way so far tonight. Inside to Oakes. Missed it from close range, but got it back now. Powell, back out it comes. Weber on the wing, in and out on the three-point try, and another battle in the paint. Oakes comes up with it, a jump ball between her and Jeriah Wright, and it will stay with Spring Hill this time with 5:04 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Broncos leading by 7. In comes Kiana James for Leavenworth. James has been the biggest missing puzzle piece in the offense tonight for Leavenworth. No points in this game for the young lady who has led them in many games this year in scoring, including their sub-state first-round win over Sumner in their first game this year against Spring Hill. But she has been shut out in this one. Milroy, what a pass inside for Sydney Busher. Kate Milroy with a no-look flip through two defenders. Sets up Busher for the two, and with 4:39 left to play in the fourth, the Broncos lead by 9, and they get it back again as Busher makes it a one-and-done trip for Leavenworth. Just one bucket apiece in this fourth quarter so far. Oakes bouncing through to Busher, that time deflected in traffic. Another tie-up, and this time it's Leavenworth who has rewarded the basketball on the alternating possession arrow with 4:21 left to play in the fourth quarter. And Spring Hill leading 29-20 here on their home floor as they try to punch their ticket to the 5A state tournament. State tournament begins on Wednesday at White Auditorium in Emporia. McLean in some trouble, but gets rid of it to Gardner. Now Gardner surveys, and out it comes to James, who travels. Spring Hill gets it back as we hit the midway point of the fourth quarter, and the Broncos leading 29-20. Gardner out there to meet Kate Milroy in the backcourt. Leavenworth knows that time is starting to work against him as Busher once again capitalizes on a Kate Milroy feed. 7 points, 4 rebounds for the freshman in her first sub-state championship game, and the Broncos are hoping it's the first of many for her as only a freshman. And the Broncos with another steal and a chance to capitalize. To go in to Busher once more, and she is fouled this time. 6th team foul on Leavenworth, so their final foul to give will be a baseline inbound for Spring Hill as Thomas and Wright, Thomas and West check back in for Leavenworth. Wright and James exit with 3:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Clay Fregon is asking for a timeout. We'll take the break. 3.5 to go in the fourth. 31-20. Broncos by 11. You're watching Spring Hill basketball on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
Your locally owned hometown Allstate agent is Libby Clark, now at her new location in downtown Spring Hill. Libby and her staff are passionate about the people they serve, helping them protect what matters most. With 24-hour customer service and options for online and in-person appointments, the Libby Clark Agency is the small-town agent you've grown to love, with the experience and products you'd expect from an industry-recognized premier agency. Visit them at their new location in downtown Spring Hill, just 1 block off Main on Hale, or call 913-686-6205. Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
3:30 left to go, fourth quarter. Spring Hill inbounding underneath their own basket with an 11-point lead. It matches the largest lead they've had in the ball game, and they go into Busher, who continues to play well in this fourth quarter. She is up to 6 points in this fourth quarter to go along with a couple of rebounds. 9 points for the game now. What a job here in the fourth by Busher. 33-20, largest lead of the game for Spring Hill. Leavenworth getting down to crunch time now with 3 minutes to go. Gardner pulls up for three, not there. Powell the rebound for Spring Hill. Full court pressure by Leavenworth. Weber able to bring it across the timeline. And here comes Jenna up on the right side. A kick ball on the entry to Oaks. So Spring Hill will inbound again on the baseline. Do they go to Busher again as Jariah Wright checks in for Leavenworth? Sydney Busher had a quiet first-round game against Highland Park, but she has been anything but quiet in this one. Lob into Oaks. Deflected by Wright. Oaks tracks it down out near midcourt. And throws a bullet pass through the hands of Milroy, who was only a couple of steps from her. And Clay Fregon says, okay, this is getting a little helter-skelter for my liking. Let's go ahead and take a quick timeout here and regather things with 2:41 left to play, and why not? Had 3 to go. He still has 2 more timeouts. Leavenworth has 1 timeout remaining. The Broncos will be in the bonus, the 1-and-1 bonus on the next foul by Leavenworth. Spring Hill still with 2 fouls to give on their end. And the possession arrow currently in favor of Spring Hill as well. Just 2 points surrendered so far in this fourth quarter by the Bronco defense. Leavenworth, for as good of a job as they have done staying in this game tonight on the defensive side, the offensive end of the floor has just been a bit of a struggle tonight for Leavenworth, for pretty much everybody not named Brandy Gardner. She has 11. The rest of the team has made just 3 shots in this game. They have yet to have a double-digit scoring quarter, and now they need that and then some in just 2.5 minutes. As the Broncos turn it over, Leavenworth will certainly take that. Spring Hill does not want to see many more of those down this stretch of this final 2.5. Thomas from the right wing missed the 3 short, but Gardner with the rebound and then a jump ball. It almost looked like it was 2 Leavenworth players who had tied that ball up, but nonetheless a jump ball is called, and that means Spring Hill gets it as the arrow favored the Broncos. 2:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Full court pressure from Leavenworth. Into Weber, now to Milroy, and Kate brings it across the timeline. And is fouled by Gardner, and that is now 4 on Brandy Gardner. So the one girl who's had the offense going for him now has 4. If they have any hopes of completing the comeback in the next 2:17, you would imagine it has to involve 15 staying on the floor for Leavenworth. Gardner, who's been over 50% of their offense tonight. Milroy at the line, 1-and-1. And the senior guard knocks down the first free throw. Extends Spring Hill's largest lead of the night out to 15 points. As we go to 2:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. 35-20 Spring Hill. Pass inside to Wright. They had her guarded in front and behind, but it doesn't matter as Gardner was able to lob a perfect pass in there to Jariah Wright. And it's 35-22 with 1:56 to play in the fourth. Spring Hill certainly going to be patient at this point. They're in no hurry. Up by 13 with 1:40 to go. Leavenworth doesn't have any options at this point. They're going to have to start committing the fouls. And now McLean does. That's her second. A lot of time. Game ticking off the clock there as Kate Milroy heads back to the line. She's only a 59% free throw shooter this year, but just knocked down a pair. So has some confidence now as she steps back to toe the line for for a 1-and-1 again. And completes the first to earn the second free throw here. Leavenworth uses their final timeout with 1 minute and 35 seconds to play. It's Spring Hill 36, Leavenworth 22. You're watching Bronco basketball in the 5A Sub-State Championship on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
When it comes to helping people with their finances, a cookie-cutter approach doesn't work. That's why you need Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial in Spring Hill. Kim knows that everyone's different. She'll listen to you and discuss your hopes and dreams, allowing you to focus on what's important. At Kim Thompson Financial, they focus on protecting your family, saving for retirement, living in retirement, financial strategy, saving for education, and your small business. To learn more, visit Kim Thompson Prudential Financial at the corner of Victory and Webster in Spring Hill, or call 913-592-5573.
1:35 left to play. 36-22. Spring Hill with a 14-point lead. They have never trailed in this game, but they've never been able to really breathe easy either, as Leavenworth has continued to put the pressure on and keep this game close enough that Spring Hill's had to stay focused in. Kate Milroy, 4 out of 4 now at the free throw line here in this fourth quarter. Makes it 37-22. McLean up top to Thomas, deflected away and stolen by Weber. Weber fouled by West in the backcourt. A 1-and-1 coming up for Jenna Weber, as that is the 19th foul on Leavenworth. And now the Broncos starting to breathe a little easier here as they lead by 15 with 1:17 to go. And they've done once again a great job of closing out a ball game. Weber at the line, knocks down the first free throw. The Broncos are 5 of 6 at the free throw line in this fourth quarter, so that always helps to close out games. They lead by 16. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Gardner continuing to play hard for Leavenworth, draws a foul, and she'll head to the line herself now, where she's gone perfect in this game. 6 of 6 at the free throw line, or check that. I'm a 5 of 6. You just missed 1. She'll get 2 foul shots here as Kate Milroy commits her second foul. Gardner, the leading scorer in this game for Leavenworth, with 12 points now. Molly Murray checks in, a 5'6" senior guard for the first time for Spring Hill. Aviana Garrett back in for Leavenworth. Gardner knocks down both the free throws, but it's a 14-point deficit still for Leavenworth. Weber, pressure to the backcourt, gets it across the timeline. Still with that dribble alive. And then Gardner reaches in and commits her 5th foul, so Gardner just fouled out of the game with 55 seconds to go. And Leavenworth down by 14. So Gardner fouls out with a team-high 13 points. 4 rebounds, 1 assist as well. And she will walk off the floor for the final time in a Leavenworth uniform. The senior played a great game here in her final game of her senior season. She's replaced by Misty De Leon. It looks like it'll be the final game, though, for Leavenworth, as Spring Hill brings Lorelei Harris in, and also Delaney Hill checks into the ball game for Spring Hill. Lorelei Harris, senior. Delaney Hill, a junior, come in with 55 seconds to play as Jenna Weber steps back up to the free throw line and adds another point to her line as she is up to 16 points to go along with 6 boards and a couple of assists again tonight. 40-24 Broncos. Weber will check out of the game. In comes Elena Freegon. .45 seconds to go. Deep three by McLean. Rims off and rebounded by Molly Murray. I'd imagine Leavenworth, no, maybe not. They're going to continue to foul. Kylie West commits her third with 36 seconds left, and that will put Molly Murray at the line, a chance to score some points here in the postseason. 2 free throws for Murray. It'll be her first 2 free throw attempts of the season. Spring Hill can start packing their bags for Emporia. They are going to end their 19-year drought at the state tournament. Delaney Hill with an offensive rebound after the missed free throw by Murray. A tie-up jump ball will send it back over to Leavenworth. But the celebration can start to begin here with 32 seconds to go and a 16-point lead. Spring Hill, last time they were at state was 2003. They were in the 4A state tournament that year. They won the whole thing. As Kylie West floats one in for Leavenworth, 40-26, 20 seconds to go. So they'll head back to state, try and add another banner. Harris holding on the right wing. The Spring Hill crowd comes to their feet here on the near side. Now they do the same on the far side. The final 4 seconds comes ticking off at the clock, and the Spring Hill Broncos are headed to state. A 40-26 victory for Spring Hill. The 5A sub-state champs and the number 3 seed on the East will make their way to Emporia, to White Auditorium, to compete in the 5A girls state basketball tournament this coming week. The Broncos headed over to celebrate with the student section. Their 5A sub-state champions, the Spring Hill Broncos. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, it's the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. Sub-state champs, the Spring Hill Broncos, here on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Bank community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is the area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you place that faulty trimmer or mower, bring it to Hers and let their experts get you back to work. Hers also takes care of hydraulic hoses, cylinder reseal, and mechanical control cables, such as push-pull, brake, throttle, and more. Plus, they carry quality equipment like Bobcat mowers, Steiner tractors, grass trimmers, and more. Hers is even a UPS drop-off station. To learn more,
Come and visit us at hersinc.net. Call Hers at
913-247-3530.
Welcome into the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show as the Spring Hill girls celebrate a sub-state championship. The Broncos headed back to the state tournament for the first time since 2003 when they won it all in Class 4A. Now they'll represent Class 5A at the state tournament this year. First time in 19 years the Broncos are headed to state as they win the sub-state championship over the Leavenworth Pioneers by a final of 40-26. The post-game show is brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, where they work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. This was a game led wire to wire by the Broncos. They never trailed after taking the 4-0 lead early on in the first quarter, led by as many as 6 in the first period, extended that to as big of a lead as 8 in the second quarter, led 20-13 at halftime. They put a double-digit lead on the board for the first time at the 4:10 mark of the third quarter, going up 25-14. It would get whittled down to 7 at 25-18, but then once they pushed it back up to double digits again at 31-20 in the fourth quarter, it never shrunk below that again, leading by as many as 16 en route to a 14-point victory tonight at 40-26 over the Leavenworth Pioneers. As you get a look at the celebration, the photo ops aplenty right now down on the floor for the Broncos. And they certainly deserve this one here tonight. Their 4th straight win. They are now 16-6 on the year, and they are headed to state in Emporia this coming week after winning the sub-state championship tonight with a 40-26 victory over the Leavenworth Pioneers. We'll take a look at some of the final numbers for you when we come back here on the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. But again, 40-26 your final. Post-game show continues right after this for your sub-state champions, the Spring Hill Broncos.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare. Advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
We continue on here from Spring Hill tonight on the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. 40-26 your final in this sub-state championship tonight. The Spring Hill Broncos are headed back to state as the girls win it by 14 in this sub-state title game. And they will head to Emporia next week, or this coming week I should say, for the state tournament, the 5A state basketball tournament. And representing the Frontier League, 2 Frontier League teams will be at state this year. The Eudora Cardinals also headed to state in the Frontier League, and the Broncos are off to state as well in Class 5A with a 63-31 win over Highland Park on Wednesday night in the first round, and here tonight with a 40-26 victory over the Leavenworth Pioneers. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers for you. Leavenworth led tonight by Brandy Gardner, who had 13 points to go along with 4 rebounds as well. She was the leading scorer and tied with the team lead in rebounding. Jariah Wright, 5 points, 4 rebounds tonight. Kaylee McLean with 3 points. Kylie West with 2 points, and Moniece Thomas with 3 points. The Broncos shut out Kiana James. 0 points tonight from James, who had a dozen on Wednesday night. In the Pioneers' win over Sumner, had 9 to lead the Pioneers scoring against Spring Hill back in the first meeting between these two teams. So an excellent job against her tonight for the Spring Hill defense that forced 17 turnovers out of Leavenworth. For Spring Hill, leading scorer tonight, Jenna Weber, who will go into the state tournament with a 21-point per game average in the postseason. After scoring 24 in the first round game, she scores 17 tonight to go along with 6 boards and 2 assists as well. Kate Milroy, 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists tonight. Coral Callan with 3 points this evening. Sydney Busher with a great game tonight. The freshman with 9 points and 5 rebounds. And a lot of that production came in the fourth quarter. 6 points, 2 boards in the fourth quarter alone for Busher to help the Broncos pull away and pick up the victory tonight. Brooke Powell with 1 point and Kaylee Oakes with 4 points to go along with a team-high 7 rebounds tonight as the Broncos win this one 40-26. So that is just about going to wrap things up for us here tonight, and that means for the season as well. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to broadcast the state tournament games, so that's going to be it for us here in basketball season anyway. Still more spring sports to come here on Spring Hill Sports Live this year, with some girls soccer and softball and baseball all still to come. But for basketball season, this puts a wrap on it, but we couldn't have asked for a better game to go out on in basketball season as far as we're concerned. It's a sub-state championship victory for Spring Hill, 40-26 over Leavenworth tonight. Good luck next week here, Aaron, this coming week in Emporia at the state tournament to the Spring Hill Broncos. Let's go win another state championship. Last time Spring Hill played in the state tournament, they did just that. They won the title back in 2003, and their first time headed back to state since that state title in 03. So why not add another state championship to the trophy case? That's going to be the goal for this team here. Clay Freegon leading his girls back to state, where they will represent Spring Hill in Emporia this coming week. For Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler. So glad you could join us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it as the Spring Hill Broncos defeat the Leavenworth Pioneers 40-26 in the 2022 5A Sub-State Championship and are headed to Emporia for the 5A State Tournament. You've been watching Spring Hill High School Basketball in the Sub-State Championship on Spring Hill Sports Live, presented by Strode Orthodontics. Have a great rest of your weekend. Go Broncos. Good luck at state.
You've been watching Spring Hill High School Sports on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by watching, and be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.